Kelly Ripa's career has always been about far more than simply hosting television programs. To many, she represents humor, resilience, and optimism. She is a woman whose career was built on a smile, capable of lifting spirits no matter how difficult the day. Yet behind that smile, a quiet battle was unfolding. When the truth finally emerged, fans across the world were stunned. Kelly was fighting for more than her career, her family, or her legacy. This was a fight for her own life. In the middle of it all stood her children, their voices trembling yet determined, revealing a family struggle few ever imagined. Tonight, this heartbreaking but ultimately inspiring story is told. It is the moving journey of a woman who transformed illness into strength and of the unbreakable bonds her family forged in the face of adversity. This is not a typical celebrity story. It is a deeply human one, and perhaps it will inspire us to endure our own challenges with courage. Kelly Ripa first entered American living rooms as a vibrant, lovable young actress. In the years that followed, she quickly rose to prominence on television, co-hosting live shows with wit, warmth, and effortless charm. Viewers adored her, as if chatting with a long-lost friend over morning coffee. Her relaxed presence felt genuine and inviting. But even the brightest stars cast shadows. Behind the scenes, Kelly faced struggles few could see. She balanced the pressures of a high-profile career, the demands of a famous family, and the weight of constant public attention. It began quietly, as these stories often do, fatigue that felt heavier than usual, pain that lingered longer than it should have. Doctor visits became more frequent. At first, Kelly brushed off the warning signs, following a familiar path taken by many driven women. She was a professional, a mother, a public figure. She pushed forward. But concern grew. Her family noticed. Her longtime husband, Mark, urged her to slow down. The children whispered their worries. Still, Kelly pressed on, refusing to step back, until denial was no longer an option. The diagnosis was both shocking and clarifying. Suddenly, time felt precious. Every laugh, every family dinner, every morning carried new weight. The news deeply affected everyone, but the children felt the shift most profoundly. Watching their mother, their anchor, and their guide fight for her health was devastating. And yet, this is where the story turns. Kelly Ripa chose to fight rather than surrender. In interviews and private conversations, her children spoke about the pain of witnessing their mother's struggle. They recalled rushed hospital visits, sleepless nights filled with worry, and the effort to hold on to hope when it felt nearly impossible. One daughter described Kelly as a warrior, not because she never cried, but because she cried and continued on. Another remembered moments when fear was pushed aside by laughter. Kelly often reminded them, "We will not let this define us." Their words reflected strength, not weakness, strength forged through hardship. Kelly Ripa did more than endure the storm. She fought with everything she had. She relied on medicine, doctors, and treatment plans, but above all, she leaned on love. Her children's words, notes from supporters, and the belief that her story was not finished gave her renewed strength. There were undeniably dark moments, days filled with exhaustion, fear, and uncertainty. But there were victories too. Tests showed progress, treatments worked. Even sharing a smile across the dinner table felt like a small miracle. Kelly wasn't just fighting to survive. She was proving that perseverance means choosing to continue even when the odds feel overwhelming. Fatigue tested patience. Hope sometimes wavered. Financial pressures, work schedules, and uncertainty weighed heavily. Yet from this adversity, something beautiful emerged. The family learned to communicate with honesty and vulnerability. They leaned on one another with a deeper sense of closeness. They discovered that when love is tested, it can either fracture or grow stronger. As news of Kelly's illness became public, fans responded with compassion rather than speculation. Letters poured in, social media filled with messages from people who had faced similar struggles. Kelly read these words during her lowest moments and found comfort in knowing she was not alone. For decades, Kelly Ripa has been a dynamic, witty, and beloved morning television presence. On screen, she appears nearly invincible, radiating energy and humor. But behind the studio lights, life has not always been so effortless. Recently, her children shed light on the hidden hardships their family has endured, revealing a powerful story of love, courage, and perseverance. From her early days on All My Children to becoming one of America's most recognizable TV hosts, Kelly has always impressed audiences with her work ethic and devotion to family. Still, fame brings pressure. Over the years, rumors swirled about family struggles, but Kelly rarely addressed them. She once shared, "I never wanted my problems to overshadow the joy of what I do." Now, her children have given the public a glimpse of what life behind the scenes truly looks like. Alongside her husband, actor Mark Consuelos, Kelly is a devoted mother to Michael, Lola, and Joaquin. Growing up in the spotlight hasn't been easy for them. In heartfelt interviews, they spoke about the challenge of managing private pain under public scrutiny. Michael, the eldest, reflected on the emotional strain during Kelly's busiest years, noting that despite everything, his mother was always present. Lola, known for her honesty, admitted that family tensions were real and frequent. "We're not perfect," she said. "We cry, we argue, and Mom struggles too." Her words allowed the world to see the real woman behind the polished TV persona. Joaquin, the youngest, emphasized how Kelly's fierce love always pulled the family back together. "No matter how hard things got," he said, "she made sure we stayed united." And how does Kelly Ripa respond to such revelations? With courage. She no longer hides her emotions and has begun speaking openly about the challenges of family life. On her show, she has acknowledged the daily struggle to maintain balance. "Some days I win," she said, "and some days I don't, but I keep trying." That honesty resonates with millions. Kelly's story is not about perfection, it is about persistence. By embracing vulnerability, she teaches her audience and her children that strength lies in truth. Today, Kelly Ripa is more than a television personality. She is a source of inspiration. Rather than being diminished by hardship, she has emerged stronger. With the support of Mark Consuelos and her children, who are now finding their own voices, Kelly continues to stand for love, unity, and authenticity. In the end, her story offers healing instead of despair. As Kelly Ripa so courageously shows us, even the brightest stars have difficult days. What truly defines them is their ability to rise again and continue shining in the face of adversity.